You know how the old saying goes? You better start believing in cyberpunk dystopias, because baby, you're in one. And no, I'm not kidding. You see, on this channel, we've been cataloging what's been going on the past 6 to 8 months, especially regarding payment processors and massive amounts of censorship, in fact, impacting other game developers like Xbox, PlayStation, and etc., and most importantly, how it impacts Steam. Seeing payment processors run around and exert their power by stopping merchant banks from adding actual currencies to Steam and restricting what you can and cannot buy was already just the tip of the iceberg, and in fact, things got even worse over time. But I think the real thing we're going to be focusing on today isn't just the payment processors, but in fact, the real ID system, something that's been being pushed into the UK into law for the past 6 to 8 months, maybe even longer, actually. You UK bros could correct me in the comments section about that. The thing is, though, it's not going to be just impacting the UK. It's going to be impacting every single game publisher, developer, console manufacturer, and even platform on the internet in the next coming year or two. And the crazier part is not just how other companies are going to go ahead and bend the knee to it, but how Valve was actually able to get around it. You see, a few months back, Valve in fact made this statement talking about age assurance and the UK Online Safety Act. The way they got around getting your actual ID to use onto Steam to purchase games in the UK was to simply have a credit card on file. This in turn means that if you are above 18 years of age, you are in fact able to get a credit card in the UK and then use that as a form of ID to bypass giving Valve your actual physical identification, or even then at the same time having some kind of control or data about your actual face, using AI to do that as well. But you see, it looks like good guy Valve isn't the one to be copied, because even other major companies like Xbox and Microsoft are already bending the knee to the UK and even adding everything across the planet on top of that. Don't believe me? Take a look. Because according to Engadget, Microsoft plans to bring Xbox age verification to countries outside of the UK. Age verification is one of the ways companies are complying with the Online Safety Act. And that's the part that's crazy about all of this. We're seeing massive companies and corporations go around and literally bend the knee to the UK government, not only adding it for UK citizens, but also applying those exact same rules across all of their users, no matter what country you are in, thereby neglecting any sort of freedom, thereby stopping any sort of privacy, and at the worst case, having that data being leaked and hacked to then be spread all over the internet for everybody to witness. And I wish I was kidding. Wario64 posted this. Back in October, Discord says hackers stole government IDs of 70,000 users. That's right, less than 6 months ago, Discord was asking for users to submit their photo ID in the UK to then access all the proper abilities and functions that you would get in Discord. And what happened? Exactly what everybody predicted. 70,000 government IDs were literally hacked and leaked all over the internet, basically just supplementing and proving that no company is able to go ahead and be trusted with your personal information, especially one that is into gaming. I don't know why it always happens to be that way, but it turns out to be that way. In fact, even those few months ago, Discord made a statement about the hack and leak as well. Take a look. According to MSNBC, in a statement, Discord, the popular chat app, said the breach affected people who had contacted the platform's customer support or trust and safety teams to verify their ages, and that it was emailing the people whose information was accessed. Discord users can be required to prove they are adults to use the platform, a process that can require them to upload the government ID cards, including driver's licenses and passports. In the update, Discord said that it was not directly hacked, but rather that the data was stolen because hackers, quote, compromised one of their third-party vendors. Boy, don't you just love that explanation? It's so great to see that Discord itself wasn't hacked, so I guess your data is safe. But sorry, hate to burst the bubble on you. It looks like the third-party vendors that Discord was using to collect that information, which they claimed would be deleted after it was confirmed, was never actually deleted. And then at the same time, they got hacked and all that information was let out onto the internet for everybody to go ahead and use that as identity theft. Bravo! Bravo! But what's even crazier is it's not just the fact that Discord got hacked. It turns out on top of that, that Discord was also getting played by their incredibly savvy users. Because according to PC Gamer back in July, Brits can get around Discord's age verification thanks to Death Stranding's photo mode, bypassing the measure introduced with the UK's Online Safety Act. We tried it and it works. Thanks, Kojima. So even with the UK passing the Online Safety Act, even with them forcing other companies to go ahead and require photo IDs or face verification to determine age, we still have users who are incredibly tech savvy using things like Death Stranding and even Gary's mod to bypass these age verification checks to then have access to Discord, which they should have had in the first place and not be removed to then require a photo ID from basically everyone. And what's actually horrifying and kind of funny when you think about it is that the UK and so many other countries and governments are using this not to protect children, which they will parade in front of you, but they're doing it to collect anonymous data and information. They want to remove anonymity from the internet. They want to remove anonymity from gaming. It's the exact same thing that happened when Blizzard and Battle.net introduced their own real ID, and your actual legal name on your account was displayed for everyone to see, especially when Destiny came out. So no, don't play this game with me, because they were trying to use that as a way to stop cyberbullying online, when in reality, they were just basically going through and plastering your personal information all over the internet, which could definitely get people into some real physical harm. Now I know what you're thinking, Alex, why bring this up today? What's going on? Why are you talking about things that happened 7 months ago, 5 months ago? Well, don't worry. I'll help you understand, and by God, you're going to be real mad when you do, because it turns out that Discord didn't correct the issue. They didn't see that things were going bad. What they did instead was that they doubled down. According to Discord support on Twitter, saying this, Discord will soon be expanding teen safety protections worldwide, including teen by default settings and age assurance designed to create safer experiences for teens. We're also launching recruitment for Discord's first teen council, creating a space for teen voices to help shape our safety and well-being work. Applications are now open for US teens ages 13 to 17. Learn more about these updates here. Okay, maybe it's not that bad, right? Maybe I'm just jumping the gun on this. I'm sure they're not getting ratio to hell and back because of this post, right? No, it's actually increasing as I record this. I'm literally watching the replies to likes on this. The replies continually just update and just get higher and higher. In fact, here are some of my favorite replies as well. With Andrej Balas saying this, you posting the BBC article of when Discord lost the 70,000 users being leaked. Schlep responding to this saying as well, do not trust Discord with any biometric data, also showing the 70,000 government IDs being leaked. Venix75 says, didn't you guys leak a bunch of IDs last year? No thanks, man. Buddy Reverie says this, congrats on destroying your platform. I'd rather redo everything I have on Discord than connect to facial scans or send my photo ID to a company that can't be trusted with people's info. Your assurances mean nothing when you have proven time and time again that you are not trustworthy. With all due respect, which is none, you and everyone who was involved with this announcement should have been Oh, wow, holy. All right, look, listen, that is, man, oh, wow. So yeah, people are in fact not happy with what Discord is doing, and I'm not happy either. I have a Discord community and I love them very much. The problem though is I don't want anyone in my community to have to go through and start submitting their photo ID to a company who uses a third-party provider that no one actually knows about to turn around and then have that third-party provider get hacked and have all their IDs being spread across the internet for everybody to in fact see. But if you thought this was the worst part, well,
honey, you've got a big storm coming.
But you see, it gets even deeper and worse, because in Discord's statement, which we're going to go over right now, it looks like not only do they want your photo ID, it turns out they've already been collecting a huge amount of your data without you knowing. Yeah, it's bad. Discord statement reads like this. Here's how this works. Everyone starts with our robust safety features turned on, regardless of age. We call this teen by default because these settings establish a clear safety baseline designed with teens in mind, with flexibility for adults to customize their experience. Adults can always choose to verify their age and change them, or leave the settings as is. Unless a user is confirmed to be an adult, these safety settings stay in place and can't be changed. So again, this isn't to protect the kids. This is literally about collecting data of adults to go through and say, we've got your info, we've got your name, we know who you are, and we're going to keep track of you. This is without a doubt a literal nanny state, watching and monitoring everything every single person does to determine who they are, what they say, what they can and can't say, and then doing everything else in between. Because Discord knows if you're a teen on Discord, you're not going to submit your ID because you're literally a teenager. But the difference is if you're an adult and you want to access that specific content on Discord, well, they know who you are, they know what you're doing, and they know now everything about you. And again, I'll point right back to when they tried this the first time and failed, when literally Death Stranding 2, and on top of that, Gary's mod, were able to beat a lot of the actual issues that Discord was trying to put into place without having to submit a photo ID. But the thing is, if you don't want to give your ID, you may not even have to because, remember that cyberpunk dystopia that we talked about? You're in it. Also in Discord statement, it says this: age inference reducing friction for adult users. As part of this toolkit, we are introducing age inference to help us determine with high confidence whether a user on our platform is an adult. We leverage technologies that help predict whether a user is an adult with high likelihood based on patterns of user behavior and other signals associated with their account on Discord. This isn't always perfect, but we've tuned the model to be highly accurate. In the event that a user is placed incorrectly into the wrong age group, they can always reconfirm their age or remove the assigned group through our age assurance flow and update their experience accordingly. That's right, baby. Things got worse. They were literally going through all of your messages, all of your posts, all of your DMs, everything you've ever done, everything you've ever said, and taking it, storing it, and then putting it through an AI model to determine your age. Don't you love having the lack of privacy at all in any shape or form in today's modern age? Isn't it a glorious thing? The fact that they know every little thing about you, everything that you've ever actually said, and then use third-party companies to go ahead and take your photo ID, have those third parties hacked, and then feed all of your data into an AI to determine your actual make, model, likes, and everything else about you, to then take that data and then sell it to multiple companies as well for a bunch of money? And the fact that companies like Xbox, Microsoft, and so many others are bending the knee and doing this, not for your safety, not because it's good for the kids, but because they're going to take that information, that profile they built on you, attach your actual real name to it, and then sell that information, and then make all that money back from your info being sold, and then keep collecting more info and data on you, and keep selling that as well, all in the guise of protecting the kids for your safety. Give us your ID, give us your info, your social, everything about you. We want it all, baby. That's what these companies and corpos are actually doing. And watching Valve be the only one so far that has been the right one and figured out a loophole around this by doing simply just the credit card functionality and not having to take pictures or photo IDs is exactly what these companies should be doing. Instead, they're just acquiescing to it, not because they're okay with the UK government, but because they know the amount of money they'll make selling that information is far greater than the actual work being put in about trying to stop the government as well. Here's Creekcraft, a huge Roblox YouTuber, saying this: they're literally using AI to spy on you. Vutherkal on Twitter says this: by the way, they indirectly confirmed with this update all the allegations about your messages being fed to AI to build a profile on you. And you know what's even better about all of this is watching Discord literally get community noted on Twitter. No, I'm not kidding. Readers added context. Discord suffered a data breach in October of 2025 with the Malwarebytes link, with the Guardian link. Government-issued IDs, which Discord is actively pushing to collect, were what was stolen as part of the data breach, with a link from The Verge, from Discord themselves, from the BBC, from InfoSecurity and eSecurity Planet. The most wild part about all this isn't just the fact that Discord is getting dragged 6 ways from Sunday and being read to filth on the entire internet. It's the fact that even companies like TeamSpeak are starting to get in on this too. Literally posting this meme right here about Thanos while Discord snaps itself out of actual relevancy because of this entirely stupid idea and process. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, Alex, you talked about Xbox before and you talked about Steam before. How does this fit into the picture? Well, not only are we seeing right now that actual communication online is in fact being hampered and anonymity being in fact erased, that's going to put a lot of people into a predicament of where they don't trust or want to use Discord at all. You're seeing people literally cancel Nitro. You're seeing people ask about alternatives. And truthfully, the one alternative we could have had is the one Microsoft literally threw under the bus: Skype. That's right, from the very beginning, back to the old ways, return to Monkey. We could go back to Ventrilo and even TeamSpeak and even Skype, but the thing is, we can't do that anymore because Microsoft rolled Skype into Microsoft Teams, and honestly, nobody wants to use Teams. I don't even like to use Teams. And every time it operates, it's always a pile of absolute junk, and it's not even a good option. The problem is Discord came in at the perfect time. It showed up when gamers wanted a different way of doing things, having a more robust way of communicating with their friends as well. And the thing is, Discord was able to do it for free for a very long time. And even then, paying for Nitro really wasn't that bad. The problem now, though, is what's actually happening with Discord itself, and what other options can we actually bring into play. My suggestion would be for Valve to shit or get off the pot and really do something with the friend scene in Steam itself. We've seen some pretty massive updates already, but the problem is even communities aren't really that well organized, and to make matters worse, the friends list are always full of just bots and people trying to scam you as well. If Steam could actually create a proper way of not only creating communities but also adding service to those communities with proper voice chat, forums, and etc., you could be seeing an entire advent circulate around Valve and Steam itself, rather than trying to find a specific other third-party application that you also have to run in the background that will also eat your resources. This would have been the ideal situation for Microsoft to relaunch Skype and bring it back to a gamer-centric focus. But even then, I'm incredibly terrified about that as well, because like I said before, they would in fact bend the knee to the UK and also sell your data on top of that. This is a no-win situation in any sense of the word. The only company I would probably even trust right now with this kind of solution would in fact be either Valve or maybe even TeamSpeak. But even then, trust is a very fine line, because we've seen Valve bend the knee to payment processors. We've seen TeamSpeak try to go through and fix a lot of their issues, but still, they're a small team and things are slow going. But I feel like if Valve actually got into the thick of things and fixed all the issues they were having with their friends list, with communities, with even making things like that on Steam itself, we could be seeing a huge backlash and a massive migration away from Discord and onto Steam as well. Hell, don't forget, you could even stream your gameplay onto Steam itself with in-game streaming. Yes, you can do that. You can also go through and create communities, even though they're not as fleshed out as we see in Discord. So the thing is, the building blocks are there for what Steam could do. The problem that I'm seeing is, does Steam have the ability to do it? Which they probably do, they're pretty smart, but isn't just the ability to, it's the want and need to. Remember, a lot of what Valve does is basically just off the cuff, really whatever people feel inclined to work on. And this may not even be at the top of the totem pole, depending upon that company. We're looking down the barrel of one of the worst possible things to happen in the gaming space, not only impacting every single major console manufacturer, but also impacting every single major platform that we as gamers even use today. And that's a massive issue overall. Having to give your ID to go ahead and play a video game, use voice chat, or even be online is a massive issue, and really not one that we should be parading the safety of children in front of simply because parents don't know how to actually raise their fucking kids. And I can say that as a parent myself. This could be the beginning of the downfall of Discord, especially if they don't walk this back. And if they do move forward with this, you could be seeing a massive amount of users simply leave the platform altogether or just stay in the teen actual structure of what they decided to work with and not have to do anything else and decide to stay with those age-restrictive policies. The deeper problem, though, isn't just that. The deeper problem is you don't have any privacy. They're feeding all your information to AI and selling that information as well. And things are going to go from bad to worse because we've seen AI make plenty of mistakes, a ton of mistakes. And if AI starts picking individuals who are in fact not of proper age and placing them or letting them access Discords that are not appropriate for them, we could be seeing a lot of lawsuits come their way. And that's going to be an even worse situation because things won't get bad for Discord, they'll get bad for us as they'll continue to clamp down and try to bring in the terms of safety for the users rather than actually proper parenting as it should have been. But hey, don't worry. The cyberpunk dystopia that we're in, this is just the beginning. It's gonna get a hell of a lot worse. But if you want to see more of this kind of content, though, more hot takes in the gaming industry, more PC port reviews, gaming news, Steam Deck videos, fanboy content, and even videos like this, subscribe to the channel. We're about to break into 107K, and I just want to say thank you guys so very much. If you, in fact, still want Discord access or emotes during live streams, become a YouTube member. It's as low as $1. If you don't want to spend the buck, don't sweat it. Just come on down every Saturday night, 8:45 p.m. Eastern, live right here on the channel as I wear a banana suit and get insulted with AITTS. It's a hell of a show. You don't want to miss it. Saturday nights, 8:45 p.m. Eastern, live right here on the channel. Oh, and by the way, I didn't forget, here is in fact the comment of the day from yesterday's video. With Uncle Shio 2498 saying this, pop the bubble, pop the bubble. Shio from Unk to Unk, absolutely. This thing needs to get popped faster than anybody could actually imagine, not only for gaming, but also for privacy concerns as well. If you want to be part of the comment of the day, go ahead. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Too many times, comment, whatever. We'll figure it out. Oh, and by the way, don't forget, I've got a second channel as well. It's called Oh No, It's Alex Gaming. Check it out. Videos are uploaded whenever I get a chance to do so. And I'm working on the Disneyfication of World of Warcraft. That'll be coming out this week at some point. So subscribe there and stay tuned. With all that being said, though, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a great one. And I'll see you gooners next time. Peace!